One of the showpiece events on the football calendar. It was taken across the Nullarbor and showcased like never before. It certainly didn't disappoint. It put the best of the game, the best of the spectacle, the best of a new stadium before us. A pulsating affair, dream time in the West. So Jack Riewoldt's had the great privilege of being part of many a big occasion right around the country. He's with us again tonight. Jack, welcome back.
Hey boys, how are we?
Very well. And Eddie Betts, welcome Eddie.
Thanks guys. Thanks. Good to be back.
How was Dreamtime, Jack?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Obviously, Perth Stadium is obviously the newest stadium in Australia, and you can see that they've got all the all the bells and whistles. So no, it was awesome. The light show was fantastic. It was phenomenal.
So when you come on after the ad break, Jack, and we ask you about Dreamtime at the G, and you were watching and listening to Neil Danaher. How do you feel? You're going from this inspirational man into sort of footy, and sometimes you think, is footy that important? And it is that important, but when you listen to Neil Danaher... Anyway, what did you feel when you were listening to Neil Danaher?
Oh, look, I just think he represents everything that's great about being an Australian. He's got amazing courage, he's brave, and he just does things that... even to get on TV tonight and just want to be here and be the face of what is an amazing charity shows the sort of person he is.
And still in Sydney?
Yeah, still sitting up in my apartment here in Coogee in Sydney. So fly back over west on Saturday for the Sunday game, and then back to Melbourne Monday morning. So. Looking forward to getting home, counting down the days, but obviously a big game this week as well.
How are the kids going in your absence?
Well, they got Crook last week, so that was a bit of a tough week. But no, look, it's certainly missing them a lot at the moment. But yeah, Carly's doing a fantastic job at home with the help of my parents, and my brothers don't live too far away, so they've been able to help out where they can, obviously with the COVID restrictions. But yeah, look, it's a tough time for everyone back in Victoria, and we're just all hoping that the news can roll around Thursday and everyone can get out of lockdown and get back to some sort of normality in their lives.
Eddie, the serious stuff's for you tonight. Were you surprised that the club's called a mid-season football department review?
A little bit, but, you know, I guess when we found out that we're going to do a review, I guess, you know, every good organisation needs to keep themselves accountable, needs to strive to get better, and we want to do that. We want to get better as a football club, and so as players, we want to play better footy, and as an organisation, we want to do better. So I think it came at a right time, the mid-season bye. So, yeah, we'll look forward to it.
A lot of people are zeroing in on the coach, Eddie, and you're not going to sit there and say, oh, they've got to get rid of the coach. But do you think that's fair or unfair on David Teague?
I think that's unfair, to be honest, Robbo. I guess, you know, we as players got to take some responsibility as well, because we're out there playing footy, and you know, we wouldn't be in this position if we won those games that were close. And you know, we showed that we can play some great brand of footy, and then we showed that we can play some awful footy as well. So, you know, we want to get better, but I think, you know, putting it all on David is really unfair for him. We're in this together as a football club. You know, some onus needs to be on us players as well.
Eddie, you're a wise football man, and you just said that, you know, you can play some great footy, not from week to week, from quarter to quarter, Ed. Like,
yeah,
we don't laugh. It's become a bit of a meme that Carlton are a three-quarter team because you play really well for three quarters and you let it go. In your wisdom, as a veteran player and being in good teams and bad teams, what is missing or what happens when Carlton fall away for a period of time in a game?
Yeah, it is. It is frustrating, Robbo, to be honest. You know, like we are good enough to play some great footy, but we're just not holding up for four quarters. And when we do play, like, it looks awesome and it feels awesome, and teams get a run on, you know, just in those quarters, and we can't stop that run. So we're going to be working on that. And I put it down to just believing in our system and in our structure. Don't fall back into your shell when the pressure starts coming your way. Stop going down the line. Keep hitting those 45s, keep changing the angles, and keep moving the ball. We were doing the first 3 quarters, because that's the way we were scoring. And I played at the Adelaide Crows, and in 2017, when we were winning games, we believed that we can go out and beat any side that we come up against, no matter where it was, West Coast, down at Geelong. We just believed that we'll get our job done, and that comes with winning. And when I look at the Melbourne Football Club compared to last year, they won a few games. That trust factor comes in there, the belief that they got, within that group, it flows through the whole football club. And I reckon if we win a few games and these boys start believing that we could do it, I'm not saying they don't believe, but once we start winning a few games and that trust factor and that belief, it brings the team together. And you can look at your teammate when you go out and play with him. You're like, yep, you're going to get your job done. Yeah, I'm going to trust you today.
Is it unsettling to hear today that John Barker's time as a long-term assistant is done?
Yeah, it is. It's a bit sad. I know Johnny Dees when I was at Carlton 7 years ago, and he's a great friend of mine. It's just pretty sad to see him go. But I haven't spoken to him just yet. It's a mid-season break. He's probably spending time with family, but I'll reach out, during the week to see how he's going and wish him well.
I want to talk to you about a player that everyone's talking about at the moment, Jack. We've gone from your great Mark, and we spoke about you for 5 days, but now I want to talk to you about Shea Bolton. He's had his issues, and we know that he broke his arm and he got suspended, and he's come back, he broke his arm, he didn't get suspended, and he's come back. Tell us something about him, mate, that we might not know about Shea Bolton, because he's captivating the entire competition.
He's pretty shy, but I know you were calling him Shy last night, Robbo, which I was going to get on and give you a bit of a rev about. His name's Shea.
No, I just thought he was shy. It was a play on words, Jack.
No, it's not a meme either. So I caught that one before, Robbo. It's a meme.
Very good.
No,
I don't use them, sorry.
I think he's treading a very similar path off field to what Shane Edwards tried. Like, he's got some amazing young leadership qualities, and I hold him in fairly high regard in terms of what he does off the field. He's got a great mentor, I think, in Dustin. I reckon he really follows in Dustin's footsteps. They've got a really great connection, and they're 2 great weapons that we're allowed to use through the midfield and the forward line. But, I mean, he does stuff that, and you've seen on screen now, that you sort of look at and go, there's a bloke who else is on this show at the moment that could do stuff like that. It was a pretty special player. So
yes,
we don't want to put too much on his shoulders, like calling him the next Chris Judd, but we think he's going to be a very good player for us going forward.
Very sharp.
Nice
tucked
game
in there along the way. What do you think of Shea, Eddie?
He's an absolute star, Shea. He can take speckies. I don't know who's going to win it, obviously him or maybe Jack. I think Jack will take it off him. But he can kick goals like that, like we saw, It was just exciting. And Serdo Nichols around to see, all these young Aboriginal players play and play well. They really want to get up and play for their family and their people. And when I look at all these young Aboriginal boys, when I look at the terms of the AFL, geez, I'm excited, that the game's in good hands. Now that Cyril's not there, I'm not going to be around for long. But to sit back and watch these young Aboriginal kids come through and the way that they're putting on a show, it's going to be exciting for years to come.
So an older Indigenous player, Eddie, how did you feel when you heard that Adam Goodes has decided to decline the Hall of Fame induction?
Yeah, it was really sad. I could understand why, because obviously what happened to Adam throughout, his last 2 years of playing AFL footy and the stuff that he copped throughout the organisation and through the general public as well. And it does leave a scar. It leaves a scar. And, when you speak about racial abuse, when you speak about, would time heal that? Time can't heal racism. That sticks with you forever. And when I think about it, I think about every time that I've been racially abused, and it cuts me deep. It really does. It still hurts to this day. And I think it's going to hurt for the rest of my life. And I think what happened to Adam is going to, you know, hurt him for the rest of his life. And I think a lot of people out there need to respect his decision and understand his decision. I know it's been out in the media today, and you know, there's been a lot of comments, you know, about Adam and all that. So, but I truly do believe that people just need to respect Adam's decision. This is his decision. Obviously, you know, he's been racially abused, and if you haven't been racially abused, then you don't know what it feels like. It cuts you deep, and this has obviously cut Adam really deep. So, I'm just, you know, hopefully people out there can just respect the decision that Adam, you know, doesn't want to accept that.
Eddie, Jack, great to chat as ever, and good luck with what's to come next.
Thanks guys. Thanks for having me.
Jack Riewoldt and Eddie Betts with us.